What's up, guys? Thought I'd come on today and talk about a hilarious development. The feminists have reached a new low. They have now claimed that I'll put it in the description below so you guys can check it out. They've actually now claimed that refusing to have sex with a woman is rape. Think about that for a second. So, I don't know what to say about that. You know, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it, I almost think like illegal maybe is the way to put it. They're trying to make it illegal to be a man. You know, if you want to have sex, then you're a misogynist. If you don't want to have sex, then you're a rapist. If you do want to have sex, you're a rapist. You know, if you want to look at a woman, you're a misogynist. If you think a woman's pretty, you're a misogynist. If you think she's not pretty, you're a misogynist. If you think she's too fat, you're fat shaming. If you think she's too skinny, then you're a misogynist. You know, I mean, you can't win with these people. It's basically like if you have any judgment about another woman, a person on the planet, if you have any judgment that is something you feel like you're attracted to certain people. Some people are attracted to certain people. You know, some people are attracted to curly hair. Some people are attracted to blonde hair. Some people are attracted to fat people. Some people are attracted to skinny people. Some people like big boobs. Some people like big asses. Some people like no asses. There's so many different people, and that's what makes the planet nice, is that there's all these people on the planet that like different things. Well, in a feminist eye, you're not supposed to do that. You're just supposed to like who they think, because what I've found is typically most of the women that are so adamant about being feminists and about getting into the culture and telling everybody that you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't fat shame are usually overweight, ugly women that you wouldn't want to fuck and you wouldn't want to have anything to do with, and you wouldn't even want them to raise your kids. And because of that, they are quite mad about it. And the way they like to show that is they try to say that the reason why they're not having a man is because of patriarchy and because of other things like this that actually have nothing to do with the facts. The facts are they have a bad attitude, and guys don't want to hang around with a bitch. That's just obvious. And because they're a bitch, they feel they should have the right to be a bitch. And if you call them out on them being a bitch, then they have the right to also call you a misogynist and for feeling you don't want to be involved with a woman who acts like a bitch and who talks like a bitch and who expects you to do everything she says and her to not have to do anything you want. That is fair. And now, if you do everything she says except for have sex with her, then now you're a rapist. And it's kind of nice that they're doing this. It's almost nice, because it's like the old story of the boy who cried wolf. Eventually, the word becomes you become disillusioned with the word, basically. So by them saying that everything is rape and them always claiming they're a victim, and they're always saying, I'm a victim because of this and I'm a victim because of that, what will happen is they will show themselves to be liars. And eventually, people, when they say those things, will just go like, yeah, whatever, fuck you, you know? And it will become like not such a big deal when they're actually fucking themselves, because if somebody does really get raped, they're making it to where people that claim that they were raped are not going to believe them. They're not going to believe them because they're making the word rape into something that it's not, you know? the definition term of what rape is not what they're saying that it is. And they're trying to say that anything that a man does to a woman other than obey her, which is what they seem to think they're supposed to do to us, anything that they do that's not us subjugating ourselves to them, us flogging ourselves in front of them, if we don't do that, then we are somehow bad and we are somehow wrong. And it's come to a new low. You know, it's come to a new low. And all I can hope is eventually, I'm out of it, so I'm in another country, so it's not really going to bother me as much. But I could only hope that sometime, eventually, there's enough women. There's a few women that don't believe in the feminist logic and whatnot, but the government is so overwhelmed and taken over by it that it's worrisome that these things could become law. And there's actually a deal I heard about the other day that if I remember where it is, I might put it in the description below as well, where they actually have contacted some. It was a Joe Rogan podcast with a guy that worked at a college. And they actually had made a law, feminists had made a law, where if there's only two people that were involved in it, they call it acquaintance rape, where you're in a frat party house or something and you take some girl into her room and she's drunk or something and you have sex with her and then she claims to be raped, even if you can't prove that he really raped her and that anything was wrongly done, under this new law, he's kicked out of college. And in many cases, a lot of these guys that these women can ruin their lives have scholarships. They've worked most of their life to get like football scholarships and baseball and basketball scholarships, and they're in college on a scholarship. And they worked very hard to get that. And this is the thing that MGTOW need to know. One woman with a malicious intent like this can get your entire life done. Everything that you've worked for in your life can be gone just from that. So, and another thing I wanted to talk about is a thing that I won't leave this in the description below. You guys can search for this and stuff because this was pretty astounding to me. And I'll clarify. In 1998, I was taking Psychology 101 in Trinidad, Colorado. And a story was told to me, and I read it in my textbook, and the lady was a woman that was telling about it, and I was kind of astounded. She actually was a psychologist, and her husband was a doctor. And she said that 60% of men in the United States were taking care of children that weren't theirs. Now let me clarify this before you get on your panopticon and start typing away saying that's stepfathers and stuff. No. What this is these are actually men who have been married for 10 or 15 years to the same woman, who have children, and they have the same doctor, the family doctor that they go to, and they would go to the doctor and they would get blood tests and do physical checkups and stuff like that. And the doctor would end up bringing in the mother and saying, how long have you guys been married? And, she'd say, 15 years, we've been together for 15 years. And they've got a 10-year-old and, a 7-year-old or something like that. And he kind of scratches his head and goes, both your children don't have the blood type of the father, and this is 60% of the men out there. So there's this thing called cryptic ovulation. And cryptic ovulation it's been going around for many, many years. And what it is there's men who women want to have children with. To carry on a line and be strong. And this is back in your reptilian mind, where women want big, strong, muscly, kind of The Rock kind of guys, And the problem is those guys typically don't have a lot of money, and they don't have jobs, and they're kind of dippy. They're kind of like a dippy blonde girl. They don't really have any job prospects. So they tend to find, the lawyer or the accountant or, the kind of dorky, nerdy guy. And that guy can't, he's not really, he's smart, but he has a tiny dick. He's a very analytical kind of guy and not very fun to be with, and doesn't do a lot of fun things. He's not very outgoing, but he is very good for raising children. He's very good for getting a house, if you want a nice car, if you want to have a Louis Vuitton bag, all the wonderful things that women love. If you want all that, this is a great guy for that, But if you want good sex and you want a good fuck and you want to carry on a lineage of children that are masculine and buffed and really cool looking, and well built, maybe models, male model types, well, that's the guys that these girls are going to fuck, So this is called cryptic ovulation, and it's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years, actually. A lot of women would have some guy that would take care of them, that they would get to take care of them, and then they would go out and have sex with somebody else so that they could actually, have children, offspring, And I think a lot of guys would be very angry to find out that this is the case. And what you need to understand with the 60% rate, this is 60% of families that have, like husband and wife that have been together and have been married for years and years, and the father thinks that the kids are his. Not like relationships where the father is taking care of somebody else's kids. This is relationships where the father thinks it's his. Out of those relationships, 60% aren't his. So these women that are so annoyed at men that cheat are only annoyed because they probably have cheated too, and they don't want you to have other children with other women because that's going to take away part of their ATM machine, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, stuff like that. If another woman has a child with you, then she's going to lose some of her ATM cash, and she wants to keep you around so that she can get that money, and all she cares about is money and the kids, and once she has those, like I've said before, she's got you, So, and like I said a long time ago, you take on a woman, you take on debt. So, so yeah, I'll put some stuff in the description below. But yeah, these are just some things I thought I'd talk about today. I'll put this article in the description below. It's let me get on here and I'll tell you where it's from. I can't see. The Portly Gazette. I guess that's where it's from. The Portly Gazette is where this article came out of. So I'll put that in there where it says, refusing to have sex with a woman is rape. When he says no. Hashtag when he says no. I've said no many times, so I guess I'm a rapist, right? So, yeah. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the section below. If you want me to go into further discussion about this, or if you got something you want me to talk about, go ahead and leave that in the section below. Share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget that at 5,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a free guitar. Also, if you want to make money on your YouTube page, go to filmstudiotv.com. It's in the description below, and get your channel approved, and you can make some money on your channel. So, have a nice day.